Basketball Talk Pro. Well, I think we have a real learning experience in this video. What I've done is broke down Golden State Warriors' tremendous success by virtue of a rating chart showing the players and the team and what they're strong at and what they've accomplished. So I'll just say that about it, and we'll go right to what kind of is our board, which will show you the stat sheet and the breakdown and also an explanation of each. So let's go there right now. Well, this is really kind of an amazing team, probably one we've not seen for some time. I'm not saying that they're better than some of the past teams. I'm just saying that they are winning better, whether it's the competition or that they just have such a powerful team. But for us, it's a good look at what a team can do, and how by playing somewhat different than the ideal NBA way of playing, they've had tremendous success with this system. Well, first of all, I need to kind of explain how this is laid out. This is really an evaluation of each player on the team statistically. It's a rating. Over here is the main rating, based on very careful putting values on each item. It isn't to see who's the best scorer or anything like that. What it is a rating to see which players are making the strongest contribution to their team effort, and what items, as we get to the bottom line, the team lines, are the items that create more success for the team. Well, if you look at the rating, first of all, and I've put letter grades to them just because it shows you, it's hard. You can see a rating, but is it good or bad? Well, I wanted to make it clear which ones are good. An A, by the way, is about being in the top 10% at your position. And B is in the next 15%. So these are the top players in the NBA. Which is the best league in the world, really, to accomplish this. They have some numbers here, though, that are just out of sight. First of all, look at all the A's and B's. All these players that are A and B are in the top 25%, for sure. The A's, of course, are in the top 10%. But we're going to look at some numbers that are just staggering. First of all, Green is, not a big man, and big men really have an advantage in this rating system because they shoot closer to the basket, they shoot a better percentage, and they get more rebounds, which inflates their score. But we take that into consideration when we grade like this. An A, in other words, for the position he plays, is in the top 10% of that position. He's a 28.7, which is very, very strong. Very few players get to that level. But the next one we need to talk about, 35.38. Over the years, and I've done this rating since 1971 when I was at the University of Minnesota, and very, very few players, regardless of size, get above 30. I think I can remember just 3 or 4, but one I do remember who was consistently in 30 plus was Michael Jordan. He was, for his position, usually playing a two guard or small forward. That was the numbers that he put up were remarkable. But you see, he did it, and the same way with Curry and Green, they did it all through all of the items. 52 and 57%. Look at this: 51, 58, 50, 56, 62, 56%. Remarkable balance on that team. But here's a guy, Stephen Curry, and of course everybody's heard about him, and he's kind of a hot item right now. But he's almost like a point guard. And to be in above 30 after 48 games is really something. And then if you look at the points per attempt on their shooting, this means that every time he puts up an attempt, Green, he scores 1.11 on average, for his shot attempts. But look at Curry, 1.26. His that's an outstanding number. But he has built his rating through here as well: assists, steals. Look at, he's even got some block shots. Most guards his size wouldn't have any block shots. But as a team, they block shots. They're very active in that area. But to show you how he contributes outside of his tremendous shooting, so let's take a look down here at the rebounds. He's a .15 rebounder at that size. He almost looks frail out there. But he goes after rebounds and gets them. And look at most of them, almost all of them are on the defensive end. Of course, the offensive end, he's taking a lot of shots, so he doesn't have a lot of opportunity. But defensively, he gets in there. And I think to all guards that coaches of guards that are watching, you need to make point out I don't care how little you are. You can get rebounds if you go after him, and he really helps the team in that area. But right through the board, their players are all contributing at a very high level. Now, is that the players or the system? I like to believe it's the system, because I see a lot of players up there that I've seen on other teams that are not contributing like they are on this team. Uh, there's something about the way they play, what they do when they play, that has brought this tremendous success. They have a chance of breaking the record. The record is 73 wins out of 82. That's only 9 games that are lost. Uh, right now, as of when I put this up, uh, the Golden State is 44 and only 4 losses. They have a real chance to make it, but they're going to have to play well, because now they're hitting the time of the schedule where every team is fighting for a playoff spot. They get tougher. They get tougher to get those wins. But let's take a look at the team totals. That's another indication on twos, which are the basis for winning. As far as offense is concerned, 52% versus their opponent, 47%. But look, 52% on twos, 43% as a team on threes, 76% on free throws. They're out rebounding their opponents, even though most of them are coming on the defensive end. But their number is screwed a little bit, because they make their shots. They don't have the ability to get offense. But here's the number: 69% of their baskets, not free throws, of their basket come from an assist. That's extremely high. In fact, their opponents, 55%, are not bad. You'll see a lot of NBA teams that are below that. But there's not hardly any that reach 69%. So even though they all the players have big numbers, they are getting it by teamwork. Through getting it from assists, not from just one-on-one or breakaway fast breaks. This is a team that helps their teammates, and that's why they could not do it without this remarkable teamwork and system. They even block shots at 7%. What this number means, that they block 7% of their opponent's shots taken. That means that only 93% of their shots even get to the basket. 7% of them don't even get to the rim. That really makes it tough to have a decent shooting percentage, which we know really the biggest factor in winning and losing. It's tough if you've got 7% of your shots blocked. You got to shoot really good on that other 93% to come up with a pretty good number. Their points per attempt on average are 1.13. The opponent's 0.93. But listen, a lot of teams in the NBA and a lot of teams in college are hovering in this area of maybe about the middle of the 90.9. Golden State's just killing it, 1.113. And their OERDER over here uh, is just as good, 1.13. Now, defensively, that's a little high, but when you consider the number of possessions that they play in, Golden State's averaging 101 possessions a game, but their opponents are averaging 103 possessions a game. So 0.99 at that level is not really that bad. Uh, just an amazing chart to look at. And I want to take this another session farther, because what I'm doing now, I'm going to break down their films. I want to find out which where is the scoring coming from? Where are the points coming from? Where are they getting their uncontested shots? They have to be getting a lot of uncontested shots for that kind of a rating, and so we can get a better picture of their system, other than just the statistical results. And I think I've got one more here I want to show you. Um, we know also that this is called positive offensive possessions. These are the possessions, there's only two of them, that teams score the highest on when they get the ball from a defensive rebound or a steal. And but So when you look at who wins and who loses, you got to consider this number because it's very high. The team with the best POPs, most POPs, wins 80% of the time, just like highest field goal percentage wins 80% of the time. So this is a real strong number to remember. Usually in this area, you're a pretty strong team if you're like 1 or 2 points number better than your opponents. They are 4.7, zero point 0.5 really, in numbers above their opponents. Very, very remarkable. And of course, look at their scoring average. This is their scoring average right here, 1.15 to their opponent's 1.02. Um, but you can't. It's this number that really their points per possession or OERD are. It really tells you how effective they are, and they're very, very effective. Well, you can get a lot out of this chart. You could study it for weeks, and I wish you would. You'd find out a lot of things about the game of basketball. It's one of the best evaluating instruments that I've ever found. Well, that's it for right now in this area. I do want to go on with it. I want to find out more about this team. It just comes along once in a while. We need to hover over it and learn as much as we can. And we could go on even more so. I wanted to point out that they also dominated the positive offensive possessions, 44 combination steals and defensive rebounds to their opponents. They dominated about everything. Now the next step, as I mentioned, is I'd like to see how they get those points, how they accomplish what they're doing to offensively and defensively to get this tremendous contributions from all players and makes it for such a wonderful team. That will be next time, and we look forward to seeing you there and kind of unveil the mystery of the Golden State Warriors.